Alright, what's up everybody? Can you hear me? You can. I didn't mention this, but Sunday night we had Move 11, who's a founder, resubscribed for the 97th month. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, here we go. So we've got Sparkle House, Adi, US, UPSC, Astrobate. I'm not dyslexic. I just woke up. What's that? No matter how much theory progresses, how radically styles change, chess play is inconceivable without tactics. Thus, we'll never agree with Rudolf Spielman's chess is 99% tactics, which is total bullshit. Yes, I agree. I'm more with Reshevsky. In the Reshevsky camp here, there's much more complexity to chess without tactics. Tactics is just the minority of chess, I believe. Now, we're hosting a 7-round Swiss here. The hostess? Astrobate, are you the hostess? Who's the hostess here? Alright, Move 11, 97 months. Nice. That was Sunday night. At the end of the stream, we didn't notice it. Alright, guys, 15 minutes till the tournament starts. I'm going to send one last reminder to the players here. So, Pawnda, July, Rabbit Swiss, 10+2. Casual, you can join us if you're a member of the team. I'm going to send a message out to the team right now. Message all members. Dear teamies. Pawnda's requested for 2 nights. Rapid 10-2, 12-2, 122. 10-2 casual Swiss. Starting in 15 minutes. Alright, there we go. Alright, we've got 5 players now as we speak. Real VMD. VMD, no relation to the driver's agency. What's it called? What am I thinking of? What's the agency where you get your driver's license? What is it called? Motor vehicle RMV. VMD and RMV. Alright, guys, I've got a headache. I don't know, too much. I don't know what it is. Alright. So, welcome, everyone, to Pawnda July Wrapped Swiss. I'm International Master William Pascal. Thanks for joining us, friends and frenemies. We're starting in 13 minutes. Can we get a link? There it is. Thanks, Astrobate. So good to have you with us. We got a major weather pattern change here. Cooled down with a lot of rain. Alright, customize time. Manually unpinned at end of stream. My old American location has a heat warning. But in Hungary, we're dropped down to reasonable temperatures here in the 20s Celsius and rain. Now, I am leaving on Sunday night to go on my little 10-day vacation. So, this is going to affect our schedule. So as not to miss 2 simul's, I'm doing the simul on Saturday night instead of Sunday night. Simul this week is Saturday night, not Sunday night. Sunday night, there's no stream. I'll be gone. And we're going to be gone for 10 days. So this is the last one of these tournaments. Going to miss 2 weeks of these tournaments on the 15th and 22nd. This is our last Tuesday Pawnda tournament until the 29th of July. We're going to miss 2 of these. So if you want to play, you better play tonight. The Tuesday tournaments are suffering. 2 weeks of no Pawnda tournaments. What's up, Astrobate? How are you? I got this message from one of my students that they had a headache and they couldn't do a lesson, and then they said that they had been exposed to carbon monoxide. I feel like I've been ever since I read this email. I've got a headache. It's like what? It's what's the word? Anyway, words are getting harder to find with this dementia. So, just hearing about carbon monoxide poisoning making me feel like I have a headache. Sparkle Horse, Adi Stefano. I'm just going to call him Asparagus. Too hard to remember this weird name. The real VMD, how many games do you have? Plenty. All right. Astrobate. Saturday Simul this week. And my t-shirt's kind of too small. I'm growing. All right, guys. What's up? So, Jose Raul Capablanca, chess books should be used as we use glasses. Huh. As if people read books. To assist the site, although some players make use of them as if they conferred sight. Capablanca implying that books can be overused. Well, I mean, I got my air conditioners installed last week, so, you know. Who knows what they can do if they're not hooked up right or something like that. Heating systems are usually the real, real danger. Gas heating systems, stuff like that. But you get an email about your student getting checked for carbon monoxide poisoning, and I'm like, now I have a headache. All right. No, I do. I woke up with a weird headache. I don't know why. It's been low pressure here. It's kind of weird weather. Sometimes that can cause problems. I haven't tried my glasses in a while. Hello? Maybe it's eye strain. So we're playing a Swiss, everybody. Tournament starting soon. Got 8 minutes till start. Oh, I got a request to join the team. All right. Oh, Crazy Blanca. Crazy Blanca from Turkey. I don't see why not. Well, we don't know they're really from Turkey. They just like Turkey, or they like the Turkish flag. Anyway. All right. You're in. Raining, so I can't open the window. We're on air conditioning. It's not that hot. I actually wouldn't need an air conditioner if it wasn't for the fact that the windows had to remain closed. I got to get real glasses. This looks stupid. Bye-bye. You change your flag weekly. Ah. Am I in the right window? Why is it showing that? That's weird. Looks like on YouTube. YouTube is showing a different screen. Maybe it's just not refreshed. Okay, there. All right, so 7 players. So this is a Swiss. 7 rounds. Last time we did 6. I thought we'd go for 7 this time. I think the tournament will last about an hour and a half. There's a couple minutes between rounds. But on balance, the games take about 20 minutes. Average game takes about less than that, probably. But let's say 20 minutes times 7 is 140 minutes. That's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Plus 3 minutes between rounds. It's like another 20 minutes. So, yeah, just over 2.5 hours. I think 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like run time for this tournament. If we get 7 rounds, assuming we have enough players for 7 rounds. I think I'm watching the wrong video or something. What am I watching? Yeah, I'm watching the wrong video. No wonder I'm confused. I wasn't watching my live stream. I'm like watching the wrong thing. All right. Yeah. So you might want to watch the right thing. There. Watching one of my old videos. That makes sense. Jesus Christ. Hello. Yeah, we're just waking up. I change my flag thrice weekly. Wouldn't want to tip anyone off where you're from. Alright, might give them a tip off of your playing style. Sun Prism is here. Stefano's in. Sun Prism we haven't seen all summer. And then that's it. Crazy Bianca's in. Where are regulars? Where are our regulars? Those people who know I do this. Mr. Slow. Those working people. Uber driver. Mirales has been vagrant lately. We don't see Morales anymore. 10 plus 2 rapid should be right up his alley. Astrobate, I want you to use your time, by the way. I'm hoping we get more than 5 players. The stream is live. When I do a Swiss, it doesn't seem to show up. Whereas when I host like a rapid arena, it shows up on the lichess thing. Sadly. Swisses aren't as well advertised. lichess hated Swiss from the beginning. They didn't want to even incorporate it into the site, but they were like people twisting their arms and begging them. Yeah, Mr. Slow is a good player. He's very theoretical. He knows a lot of openings. He's around the same age as me, and I think he reached around 2,100, maybe lifetime max FIDE. So a good player overall. Though it's getting harder and harder to define what a good player is anymore with the rating deflation. Okay. So what's up, everybody? Let's see some energy. Just picked up a bunch of viewers. I don't know why. We're up to 17 rather quickly. But we only have 7 in the tournament. So let's get some people in this tournament. Pawnda and Horses Club. You have to be a member to play. There's Ruslan Bear. Congratulations on your... Ruslan Bear, congratulations on your really, really sleazy win against me. The worst ever. A mate in 1 I blundered. Blundered mate in 1 against him. Oh! This is out of date. Alright, we have 10 players now. Schumacher is here. No drinking. No drinking, guys. 2 minutes to go. But that's good. A good start. We have 10 players for the Swiss. Hopefully we'll get as many as 20. Maybe even more. Are you Ninja? Ninha. I just need a haircut. It's too hot. Are you ninja? Samurai. Samurai, not ninja. Chess samurai. I'm a white chess samurai. If anybody wants to join our team, Pawnda Horses Club, this is it. Right here. Pawnda Horses Club, 791 members. Pawnda July Rapid Swiss, 11 players now. Altogether, with the addition of Ilya Gaderi. So, Gu is apparently thinking about joining. Go. Go. Reduce. He's been banned for stupid comments in the chat, but I'm not banning him from playing. That's a different thing. If you annoy me in the chat, doesn't mean you're going to be like banned from the team. It's a completely separate thing. He can play. He's just not allowed to talk in chat. All right. By the way, guys, if I time you out for something in chat, don't come right back and start talking again. Like, obviously, I was annoyed by something. Gu is now third highest rated. Pulling those ratings up. Wasn't he like 1600? Weren't you 1600 in Blitz the other day? No, I'm thinking of someone else. Arsenal fan, what? Oh no. What? Would I consider yourself a rapid expert? You knew that we're going to play each other first round? I would not. You didn't get time out of it a lot, B-Jack. I would say not. How did you know we're going to play? And no, I'm not a rapid expert. I think I'm like normally equal in all time controls, but except for bullet. Personally, I say I'm about, you know, even though my current like classical rating is low, I think in reality I'm the same approximate strength in Blitz Rapid and classical, in my opinion. Just there's been this like deflation and stuff in the classical. All right, I was able to farm my rapid rating up, my rapid rating up to like a reasonable rating. You just missed entry. Well, yeah, that's his fault. All right, guys. Good to see you. Starting on a good note. So I was thinking about a weird move here. Blobix, wasn't it Blobix who used to play this? It's rarely played. Doesn't contain a direct threat. But I remember playing with Black and being a little bit like not sure how to handle it. The other day I threw in a game of this. I had a good result. A Blitz game. I feel like I'm playing the Stonewall attack. I think the opponent, yeah. The opponent that I played this against probably played a different way than what we're seeing here. And honestly, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Winning a piece is not winning a piece. That's the problem, Arsenal fan. Damn, dude. You just totally got busted by the invisible man. Your counter statement is totally unsound. Exactly. Boom. take your counter statement back. Your reflexive counter statement is totally nuked. Of course, the Invisible Man. That was brought to my attention. It was an old master friend of mine from Boston. He used to teach that to his students. All right. No, actually, Dragonfly Hunter was one of his students in the old days, and this guy looks nice. Looks nice till it doesn't. It's all fine and good till someone loses an eye. Like that. 95, 95, pawn e5, queen check, king h1. Could always play king h1 right away. Could always play c3. Could always do a lot of things. Can never be too careful about your king being checked after moving your f-pawn forward. Mm-hmm. Originally, I was going to take with the bishop. But maybe there's something to be said for taking with the knight. What is there to be said for that? Don't know. Get you canceled. Not easy to cancel me, man. That finish I am trying to get me canceled. A few years back. Why would anyone want to cancel me? I'm so friendly and mild-mannered. Alright. Everything's pointing at my opponent, but he's so solid I can't do anything to him. This f4 variation, I think it was Blobix who played it against me. Another Blobix tribute. And I never knew like how to handle it with black. But I mean, thinking about it, going back to the days when I looked at the Caro-Kann seriously. In the ancient days. I think f4 was mentioned even in older books. I think if you look that up, you'll find some specialists trying to play it. Now, knight e5 is starting to look tempting. Is knight f4 a threat? Well, taking the pawn is a threat, and just being on that square is kind of a threat, I would say. Well, my opponent's position is remaining very solid here. So what have I really got? Knight f4, rook f4, f5, pawn e5, pawn e5. He was pawn e5. c4 e5. Knight g6. It's all overrated. Black's terribly solid here. Rook AE1. Knight takes G6. If F5, Black takes, you can take twice. I don't know, it feels like Black's going to put a lot of pressure on my E5 knight. This is a risky move by me. It's inherently logical, but it's also inherently dangerous because this diagonal, this line coming back against me. My pieces look great. They look great. Look at that. He just can't trade pieces fast enough. He's a trader. This is why I was telling you guys, it feels like I'm playing the Stonewall attack when you play this F4 line. My only hope is that the 4. Where is 44? Door-de-door, as my neighborhood friend used to say back in the 80s when he had a speech impediment. Oh, okay. Oh no. This has got to be a fork. Chester Forkington. Bruh. Bishop takes c5. Bishop takes c5, queen c5, knight d7. Knight d7, rook takes d5. I'm better, but he can defend. We're so close to a tactic here. No, I just take on f7. Take on f7, and take on f6. I guess. Always take. Wait, what am I talking about taking on f7? Am I losing my mind? Careful now. Knight f7, rook f7. Yeah, right. Knight f7, rook f7, bishop d5, knight d5, queen e6. Let's check this out. Problem knight f7 though, it doesn't feel like it does anything. It looks nice. How about bishop d5 first? Or even a different move like rook d1 first. Knight f7. Knight f7, rook e8. Come on, bro. Knight d7, maybe it's just simpler. You just have pressure. I don't know, man. I'm afraid I'm going to miscalculate. I didn't see what to do after knight f7, rook e8. I'm not threatening anything. And he's like, got more time. Bishop takes. The next question is, What's stronger, knight or bishop? Just kidding. Now, how many ways does he have to defend that knight? Queen c7. We're clearly better. Bishop takes? No. This is a very serious looking kind of advantage. What does he play? Uh-huh. Okay. I see you're going for the knight g4 threat. Rook c5, rook c7. Maybe I was talking about black. That is a nice move, though. I was going to play rook d6, but... like, if I don't have an exchange on f6, exchange sack, then it looks like a stupid move. My rook on the 7th is much more useful here. A strategic epiphany. It's all about the 4. Oh no. Oh no. He never had time to do his little knight g4 crap. I keep forgetting it's a Swiss. Thank God it's a Swiss. Otherwise, like, other people would have like 100 points by now. 16 minutes. Anyone else trying to join the team? I will update it like right after this game. We have 3 minutes between rounds. If you need to make a bathroom run, or just grab a beer, whatever the case may be, we have 3 minutes between rounds. Just keep in mind. Or both. All right. Sparkle Horse team. Let's see. Nope. No request to join team. Oh no, my Arsenal fan correspondence game. We're not going to talk about that today. Mr. Coffee is a lichess patron for 91 months. By the way, Mr. Coffee, good to see you. Move 11 is 97 months. Subscriber. Because I blundered. Of course I blundered. I would know about it if I blundered. Because you'd make like an instant move. Alright, there's still a game going on. Nice. French exchange variation. This looks kind of familiar. Sun Prism had a game like this against somebody a couple weeks back. I thought. Was it? Someone who hasn't been here lately. No? F5. That's a ballsy move. Huh? Intuitive sacrifice. No spoilers. No specific spoilers when we're looking at like one game. But this is a risky move by White. I mean, he's kind of holding the line there, and winning isn't really an option. So I would think like White would be better off not taking any chances. F5 looks like you're taking some chances. It's 10 plus 2. This move is going to be very calculation based. King and pawn games are extremely calculation based. You got a rook in game, it's probably a draw. With king and pawn games, that isn't really the case necessarily. So black grabs the pawn. Yeah, I'm not convinced by king f4. On the other hand, maybe there's nothing that black can do. Maybe this was... No, I think... No, this is weird. This is weird. I have no idea what's going on, actually. But I definitely wouldn't go into it voluntarily. I'm not sure that black's extra pawn is advantageous. But on the other hand, like white did this fancy like pawn sacrifice, but oof, f4. I don't really like f4 because white might need that king square. I have an opinion about this position, and it just changed. Yeah, of course. He needs to have the threat of king f4. That's huge. Wow. The guy's like a genius, dude. B4 is genius. Oh my god. That's not genius. Dude, bro, it was a draw after b5. He just like lost. He just lost the game. White just lost the game. Voluntarily. He's totally drawing after b5. It's a total force field. Now white is lost. I mean, everybody can see that. Black is protected past pawn. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? Didn't have to be a brain surgeon. That's game over. Unbelievable. After that first mistake, he has a second chance to draw and still misses it. Right. Seen enough of this. King and pawn endgame technique, guys. That's why the Soviets taught endgames first. And they were right to do so. Every Russian schoolboy, etc., etc. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing in endgames anymore because it's not fun to study endgames. So you've got guys who are master strength on lichess who have no clue how to play a basic king and pawn game. And playing this out is even worse. What is the point of playing this out? Alright, round 2. Starting in 3 minutes. Sparkle Horse, Crazy Bianca, Goo, Redusa, Adai, Sun Prism, Stefano. Stefano and Redusa are both 8. Stefano 8 and Redusa 8. Coincidence? 6 letters versus 7 letters. Alright, Sun Prism got the win. Stefano, Arsenal fan. It's Joe Biden's fault that there's flooding in Texas. It was Arsenal fans' opponent's fault that he made it late to the tournament. Alright, Nefidov. You gotta anticipate those guys playing out like a piece down. Obviously, they're gonna do that. That's what they do. You should have planned ahead. Alright, Ilya Gaderi had 2 chances to hold that king and pawn game. Actually, even playing f4 was risky. Sorry, f5 was risky. It's a draw. F4 was like losing, and then you got another chance for a draw. So it took 3 mistakes for white to lose that king and pawn game. F5, trying to win in a position where you're not better, first of all, with f5. Secondly, f4, and then finally not playing b5 on the queen side. You're lucky you had a second chance to draw. You got to accept when it's a draw, and you don't try to push it too hard. How I lost to... I should have lost like that against you, Arsenal fan, obviously on Sunday. Total of 16 players thus far. Let's see. Is there anyone else out there? No more joiners. Refresh. 1 minute till the next round. This is a Swiss. Guys, if you wanna take a break, you can take a break, but you need to withdraw from the tournament. Or if you want to leave permanently, please withdraw. Don't just leave, because someone will get paired with you, and then somebody loses a game. Crazy Bianca, subscribe with Prime. Thank you. Yeah, endgames are so important. I'm just shocked how little, like, new players, how little they put emphasis on endgames. It's tragic. Rengawi. We're good. We're good. Welcome. What's up? What's up? How are things in Saskatchewan? Alright, now we're black against Mr. D4. Well, I've been playing the same stuff on again and again. Very solid player. We can use the threat of allowing e4, you know, we can use these one square pawn moves like d6, e6, because he doesn't. Now what's this? Knight f3. Aha. What's my point now? Play a Sicilian. I did my exercises and bike ride. Now I'm making lunch before errands. I did the treadmill today because it's raining. Good thing I got that treadmill. We got a lot of rain here. But good. I did this once, you know, years ago against a d4 player who let me transpose to a Najdorf, which I knew, and he didn't know what he was doing. He like got killed in like a English attack. You can't play the white side with English attack Najdorf if you're a d4 player. Bertsesh Dave did that against me. I'm like, what the? I just smoothly transposed to playing the Sicilian with black and killed them. What are white's options here? He's confused. Lots of options, but he can't play, you know, the openings he wanted. I hadn't used this move order against him before. You know, I don't play e6 a lot because I don't really play the French. But if my opponent's not an e4 player, it's a valid threat. I did it against Hikaru, and I got transposed to a French and lost. The only time I lost to Hikaru in a classical game. It was a tough game, and that was 20 years ago. I was okay, but not easy to play the French against a strong player who knows what they're doing. So e6 is kind of a bluff if you're not really a French player, but I can do it here. Now he plays knight f3, I played c5. What are we thinking about? e3, c3, closed queen pawn games, g3, some kind of neo-Catalan, c4, the English. So it's a Coley system with possible transitions to things like Panov, Samitarash, White's threatening d5. So cd5 is Tarash, but Panov, I don't want to play that necessarily. d5. Mr. Coffee, what's up? Mr. Coffee. Puck Putin. I don't understand why Putin hasn't been nominated for, like, you know, a Nobel Peace Prize or anything. Alright, just draw him. But why? Alright, bishop takes c5. So, it's a Queen's Gambit accepted in reverse. That's what this is. It's also a standard IQP position in reverse. What else is it? Yeah, Queen's Gambit accepted reversed. Redusa never plays this way. And now a very quiet move. Bishop e2. Okay. So I'm basically playing white in QGA. And generally when you're white in the QGA, oftentimes you'll delay this knight. So Queen e7. Like so-called, what's the word I'm looking for? Specific player, he was second of Karpov, I thought. Queen e2 in the Queen's Gambit accepted. It was Karpov's, one of Karpov's trainers. Not Zaitsev. Now a3. The new expert. Yeah, I got dementia. I mean, it's clear. I should go for a brain scan. I'm having trouble recalling names. Wow, Queen c2. Enough is enough. Most people do most people play the same openings over and over? Yeah. People are very repetitive. So not everyone, but most. Yes, most. There are a few that mix it up, that take openings very seriously. For example, Mr. Slow, he's like switching his openings now and again with some variants. But here I have an opponent who seems to know this, even though he doesn't know it, which is weird. I had a game with Charlie Hurtan once where I was white in a QGA. He had the exact same position as my opponent, except his bishop was on d6 or d3 in this case. The bishop is more actively placed on d3 than on e2 or e7. So I had like that exact position if his bishop was on d3 once. Or maybe more than once, because I ended up playing this other guy who was a student of Charlie's, and we had a sort of same line. The guy would end up taking lessons with me eventually. Anyway, really relevant shit. But okay, White's play is pretty logical. The problem with this curious attack or curious variation with a4, which I always attribute to curious, is the b5 square. What is the word I'm trying to remember? Knight a4, that's what Charlie's student did, but it was a different situation where the pawn was on b6. So I think this makes a lot more sense if my pawn is on b6. Not as much sense here. I'm not, I have this move, obviously. You have to join. How do I join this Swiss? You click on Pawnda July Rapid Swiss, and maybe somebody. Well, the link is up there. You just join. It's very simple. Okay, I do not understand what's happening here. Wow. Maybe he's just gonna play like knight b6, huh? Knight a4 c5 is kind of extreme. King's Indian defense. Oh, you didn't join the team. I assumed you had joined the team already. I thought you would join the team already. You're not one of those people who like joins the team and then leaves every week to rejoin the team a week later. I hate when people do that. b3? I am astonished. And White had a couple of valid options. Maybe b4 sacking a pawn to try for something on the a file, and then obviously like knight b6. But I guess knight b6 wouldn't really save it because I could just move my rook. The pawn will probably fall no matter what. So he just gives up the pawn. Gotta watch my queen on this diagonal. It's very dangerous. Maybe objectively I should have gone with the bishop recapture. But it sort of doesn't seem like a big deal either way. Okay. Could borrow an idea from our opponent with the b6, bishop a6, the game where he crushed me last week like a genius. We're up a clear pawn here, and it's not just any pawn. I mean, that's a central pawn. Seems like kind of an important pawn. You can join the team and you can join the Swiss, but you have to wait till the round's over. I mean, to play, obviously. There's nothing holding you back. I guess in retrospect, Oh, Arthur Ross is watching. Okay. In retrospect, wow. Yeah. We're going to change the pawn structure. Why do Bargs dock? Bargs. Barges? Bargs. Bargus. Embargus. Embargo. Speaking of embargoes, all right. Clear pawn up. Threatening knight b6. Rook a6 is a possibility. Looks too fancy. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I suppose the b5 is a real possibility. Real or imagined. That's kind of crazy now. All right. He insists on doing crazy stuff. I'm going to have to answer. Thank God there's not too much of a big increment here. What the hell is going on? Does anybody understand what's going on here? Obviously a practical decision. My opponent, like, a huge fan of playing bullet chess and moving really fast. Which I try to campaign against, but they just don't listen. No matter what you do, they just don't listen. The people, that is. They're never going to listen. And they're never going to manage their time properly. No matter how hard you try to get them to do so. Rook d3. Sun Prism 2-0. Okay, Stefano and Crazy Bianca, an Arsenal fan. Oh, Arsenal fan paired up in the higher point group with an Arsenal fan with a a Leela like h6 pawn. Invasive Nimzovician play by Arsenal fan. I don't think the bullet is good for anything. I think it should be like thrown in the trash heap of pop culture and just play blitz. I mean, I don't see any reason for people to play faster than 3-0. I really don't think that any reason exists. There's any justification for it, you know. Practicing always. All right, accept. So that's my opinion. You don't have to agree, but whatever. 3-0 is plenty fast, and it's entertaining and fun, and I don't see why we have to cheapen chess beyond that. But watching grandmasters hang their pieces, playing like retarded chess, it's hard to stomach, you know. It's hard to play a good game. It's hard to play a quality game in 3+0, and beyond that, I mean, it's rare. I get that it's addicting, but trying to justify it is just bullshit, you know. The strong players who are like, oh yeah, I got a lot of practice by playing bullet. They're just making excuses for the fact that they're addicted to this drug. Now, I know a lot of strong players who had to like quit playing like bullet chess because it's like literally, it's like a gambling addiction or something. It's just wasting your time. I think that 3-0 or longer, you could probably derive genuine benefit. You know, the longer the game, the more constructive. People are turned off by cheaters, and that's understandable. But still not an excuse to just exclusively sit around playing bullet chess. And I see so many people just wasting their time. Brutal. Almost mate. Anyway, this is kind of anticlimactic, but we'll let Arsenal fan finish it off. All right. So, crushing victory by Arsenal fan. Still, he only has 1.5 because of the half-point draw by in the first round. And then, is that everybody? There's one game still going. Bullet Chess Lecture. Nefedov is playing his first real game. Oh. Whoa. Who is this? They're taking out Nefedov. Jesus, bro. Oh, this is... Nefedov sacked an exchange. Oh, and then he decided to trade queens. So, I don't know. Nefedov was kind of... What happened here? Where did his time go, by the way? Where did Nefedov's time go? Even this endgame, maybe there's some drawing chances. He's got 2-second increment. Bishop e4. Could that be enough to save Nefedov? He's down a clear exchange. He's winning the a7 pawn now. Oh no! Oh no, Nefedov's winning the exchange back. Oh no, now winning the exchange back. Sleazy Nefedov goes from loss to possibly winning. Two pawns up, make that one pawn. Make that one pawn. Black wisely not trading rooks, because the endgame with just bishops is probably a win. He's trying to flag Nefedov. Nefedov's struggling to make those 2-second increment moves, but this is a very simplified endgame. Looks like Nefedov might be able to handle the 2-second increments. My mission statement. I don't think I have a mission statement. But let's just say like foreign speakers never understand it. You know, maybe you understand it. G Souts. Nevertheless, how can you lose in this endgame with 10+2? 2 seconds is plenty. We had a tournament like a couple weeks ago where I defended rook against a super fast like Vietnamese guy a couple months ago. I defended a rook endgame with 2 second increment over the board. If I can do it over the board, then you guys can defend with 2 seconds. In this case, he's up a pawn. He's not even... This is easy to hold with white with 2 second increment. So, poor Nefedov. Alright. Sun Prism, Sparkle Horse, and I could make it like 10+3, but nobody plays 10+3, you know? Or 10+5. These time controls like don't exist. 10+2 is sort of a pseudo time control. For some reason, it's always been one. Isn't that right? Like even back in the old days on the Internet Chess Club, wasn't 10+2 an early kind of standard time control for some reason that I never fully understood? I don't know where it like originated. That was like always like a setting time control. Like a standard. Mr. Coffee might remember. It's a bit of a weird time control, but 10-5 is going to take a lot longer. And this this tournament can already run like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So, I don't love the 2 second increment, but like, it depends if you're playing with the mouse or on your phone. On the phone, it's easy to play 2 second increments, I think. People that are bad with the mouse, like me, struggle a little bit, but, you know, you're not struggling to find moves in a drawn position. If you have a drawn position, like Nefedov just had, in this case, he's slightly better, but he doesn't need to try to win. He can just draw, you know. I mean, just move back and forth. It's easy. You're a pawn up. His opponent has no passed pawn. I mean, you're just moving back and forth, and you shouldn't lose. You gotta play for a draw, though. Trying to win there would be very tricky. An expert blitz player can probably win the pawn up. USCF standard suggests 3 seconds delay or increment for 10 to 30 minutes. No, but I mean, I thought like on Internet Chess Club, you know, 30 years ago, like 10-2 for some reason was like always the time control. I don't know why. The early days of online chess. Sung Prism to Sung. I like playing e4. I'm really enjoying playing e4 more, especially in rapid. Chisung. USCF. Mr. Coffee. Rip the world open. I guess, huh? I had a game the other day where I did this. What is this? On ICC. Just remember there being... Those are sudden death time controls. I don't know if there's a pool for 10+2, but I thought they used to have tournaments or something. Pool. Get in the pool. Get in the pool, fool. Fühle Müller. No Germans here today. Rip the World Open. More like the World Open is a rip-off. Well, you know, it's a cash prize tournament. It's an investment. I never won a good prize in a class tournament. I ended up winning some strong tournaments overall in my chess career. But it's funny that I never made any money, you know, like winning some lower section or something. So what? Yeah, but there's like the list of sandbaggers. That's the first thing when you click on the Continental Chess Association link. They're like, Continental Chess minimum ratings. I checked the tournaments because I'm coming home, you know, and I thought, oh, it turns out like the second half of September, first week of October is like the biggest like down period in the history of like U.S. chess. There are no good tournaments in the 2 weeks when I'll be there. Actually, when is Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend? When is Labor Day weekend this year, Mr. Coffee? Mr. Cough. I got to figure out if there's like a New England Open when I'm going to be there, because I haven't gone for a title in 10 years. So this is a closed Sicilian. I was inspired by Nimzovich. There was a Nimzovich game I looked at last week, or actually this week, or last week. I don't remember. Maybe it was like last week. So 9-9-1. September 1st. Yeah, what am I thinking of? I'm like out of my mind, dude. I'm totally losing my mind. I think Labor Day's at the end of September. Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I have dementia, man. You know, for like all this week, I was believing that like Labor Day was somehow falling in the 2 weeks when I'm there. That's crazy. No, this is like the dearth of chess tournaments. There's nothing. The Iowa Rapid Championship or something. Dearth on earth. Dvoretsky said, always take the opposite way. In these closed Sicilians. I know, it gets confusing with the whole month and day thing. I saw this advertisement today on my phone from some tournament in Debrecen, which is like central Hungary, north central Hungary. It's like 2 hours from Budapest. And they put an advertisement for like 5-1. I was like, what? 2025 5-1. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Whatever date that was already happened. So now we have the possibility of knight g3, knight h5, which is always fun. I had love for playing these closed Sicilian positions when I was younger. From my youth up until becoming a master, FIDE master, I used to like to play both sides of, especially black, against the English. But at some point, you know, it's a lot of work playing closed positions. Jeez. You know you're black, right? You are aware you're playing the black pieces. Okay. Nimzovich. Damn, bro. Alright, I need the knight to cover e4. What could possibly go wrong here? Knight e5, knight e5 takes, bishop takes. Seems like I have a lead, kind of lead in something here. Do I need that knight to defend e4? What about your bishop on g7? I mean, this isn't a problem, right? Don't need that for anything. What if he takes on e4? I'll have to recapture. That's fine. I don't see black giving me his dark square bishop. Yeah, I don't get the tournament advertisement on my phone from May. You know, it seems a little strange. Now we have c3. This looks extremely dangerous for black. I guess he has knight g6 in some positions. What about c3? Kind of risky. We only live once. Damn, dude. Does that work? Wow. Maybe I should just recapture. Instead of trying to be fancy. There were some problems. If queen b3 check, black has queen d5. So that wasn't so easy. But some prisms seems to have a limited amount of experience in this type of position. It looks very dangerous for black. Mr. Coffee, stop spamming. Oh, you're the moderator, sorry. We have 27 viewers, nice. 27 people not watching Chess.mom. Doesn't it get boring to watch? Do people really watch, like, the title Tuesday? That's such a big deal. Like, it gets a little old after a while, doesn't it? Watching the same old title Tuesday. I would imagine Han streaming every Tuesday. That's his life now. What, he became 2600, so he could like stream on chess.com title Tuesdays. Bortnick. There's got to be more to chess than streaming title Tuesdays. It's kind of pathetic. And why does it have to run into my stream? Oh, brother. All right. Wow. This has to be good. This is not good for black. It's good for someone, though. It has to be good for someone. How do you guys feel about f5, f6, f7 check? That'd be really sick. That would hurt. You know, that hurts. f5, f6, f7 check. f7 checkmate. Ugh. Damn, bro. My little bronies. Alright. So here. For something new and totally different. Oh no, bishop takes f1. Look out. Damn, bro. Oh, this is not a good day for black. Whew. That's why Dvoretsky said you should take the opposite way in the closed Sicilian. If I take g takes f, you take e takes f. Not g takes f. Or something like that. Good thing I had that that training with Dvoretsky on English and closed Sicilians. Also King's Indian attacks. I learned a lot from him in just a couple of lessons. We worked on like closed opening structures basically. Oof. Some slight problem here. Now maybe black can be inventive and come up with a defense. At least a temporary one. Only one idea comes to mind. Oh, that's so sick, dude. That's so sick. Oh, the sickest variation. It doesn't work, though, for me. Damn, it almost works. Okay, then F5 there. I need, like, one more move. This is a crushing position. How did this even happen? Sun Prism is rusty again. That's your only move, right? Literally the only move. And now, with enhanced bishops, please don't take my exchange. So what's my next move? Like bishop d2, followed by rook a d1. His king's not going anywhere. You took. I guess he was kind of short of ideas. Wow. That's not good. Look, Mano checks. There's no checks. I love it when there's no checks. It's more fun to watch a bunch of sub 400s play. No, I'm just wondering who the audience is, you know, for watching these Title Tuesdays. It would be kind of limited. A lot of bots. A few other title players who aren't playing, and probably, you know, a bunch of aspiring mid-range players that might be interested, sure. Alright. But I think the chess world is really sad if that's... I mean, obviously, like, the women's Grand Prix is going on, right? The FIDE Women's Grand Prix is going on right now, and that's cool. I was really hoping Joka Gal would lose. She seemed really arrogant when I played against her a couple years ago in this like rapid tournament, or it was round robin. And she lost the first game. When people I dislike, I kind of root for them to lose. But it looks like she's gonna pull through her first match. You stopped both mates. Nice, rook f6. I have to say I missed that. You did Pulgar Jr. Okay, another reason why I hate certain people is like maybe they're favored. In the Hungarian chess scene, there's like a handful of players, and for some reason they're treated like royalty or something. Major favoritism towards certain players. It's no skin off my back. I'm not really a Hungarian, but I just think it's like really unfair. There were lots of talented women players in Hungary over the last like 20 years since I've been here, and I never saw a player get more over promoted than Joka Gal. It's really weird. It's like the same thing with one male player. I noticed, shall remain nameless, but favoritism is rife. Okay, well, Caruana's dad would not be happy. You have Queen D1? Not happening. Oh, I'm enjoying this. She's the only entrant in there from Hungary. Some good matchups though in the Women's Grand Prix. I was really disappointed. She was playing like a 2090 from India. I would love to see somebody get smacked down by a 2090. But I think she won her match. Probably. I didn't see the result of the last game. Alright. Anyway. If you're arrogant with me, I'm not going to like you. You know? Alright. That's it. AD. Oh, AD's from Hungary too now. Interesting. That may or may not be the case. Speaking of Hungary, we have a number of Hungarians, Gu, and possibly 80, but could be. Had I. Oh, Arsenal fan. Arsenal fan. Major clock pressure. This guy's good at bullet. He's 24-30 in bullet. Does White have a blockade here? 2 pawns down is a problem. Yeah, White allowing h4 is a serious issue. He should have played h4 himself. Arsenal gave him a chance to exchange rooks and he didn't take it. Damn, I don't know. I mean, it may be too late to save it even with a rook exchange. But you think that White would go there and try it. I kind of feel like the endgame's probably lost, so maybe trading rooks was indeed a mistake. I think that the 2 pawns is probably winning. After h4, if White had stopped at h4, I bet like White could have held it, you know, even with a rook exchange, maybe. But the fact that Adi's king is stuck on h2 with the pawns on and h3 and g2 is a disaster. Yeah, he would have been lost in opposite color bishop's endgame probably. Better chances to keep the rooks on. Now this is a good move, and Arsenal fan tends to rush. Damn. He didn't manage to maintain that blockade. Yeah, I don't think White can trade rooks. Better to keep the rooks on. This is getting ugly. Just too much spatial advantage at this point. That was kind of a hesitation, but maybe not so easy to win. Huge winning chances for black. Opposite color bishops are actually... I don't like b5 though. I don't know. Arsenal, really, dude. You can use a little bit of your time. Wow. I have no idea what's happening now. Arsenal fans should use some of his time to at least figure out what the hell he's doing, instead of just like blitzing off moves constantly. He just doesn't manage his clock right. That 2 minutes needs to be used properly. I'm trying to flag like a bullet player. Unbelievable. This is going to be like the longest game. 118 moves, 50 move rule, draw. That's what I had with Arsenal on Sunday. Look at those queenside pawns. Suddenly things are getting kind of sharp here. Sharpy. But black's pawns seem to be moving a little faster than white's pawns. You guys want to bet on this? It's so random. I have no idea who's going to win. The black's pawn's a little more advanced, to be honest. It's hard to vote against. Oh, he's going to win on time almost. Oh, no. Well, black maintained the blockade. I mean, white maintained the blockade. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's just in time to draw. Clear draw. Wow. Lesson in time management. Black has too much of a time edge there to play as fast as he did. I mean, it's hard to balance between trying to win on time and trying to win on position. But when you have any kind of increment, I think it's important, you know, not to play for time. Arsenal wasn't totally playing for time, but he didn't use enough of his time. You know, he didn't use enough of his proportion of his time to really find like the best moves. That's his advantage. You know, he needs to take more time there. He was definitely winning. It wasn't easy, but my criticism would only be that he didn't quite use enough. You know, he needs to take the time to find absolute best moves. All right. But anyway, nice job, you know, by Adi to hold on in a very difficult position. This is just rage tilt now. Someone should offer a draw. All right. I hate that it doesn't allow a draw there. Bishop versus bishop. You can get checkmated, right? Magnus, Faruja style. Artur As is back. He's quite a good player. Nice to see him. Alright. So I have 3. No one else has 3. Adi has 2.5. Wow. So second place with 2.5. And Sun Prism with 2. Losing against me. Arsenal fan with 2. Okay, so Arsenal fan is part of a large group of players with 2. Gu, Redusa, Crazy Bianca, and then Artur As with just 2 games played. Alright, well, again, tricky to manage time in rapid chess at all, you know, I have to say. If this is the hardest time, you know, controls, I think, to play, because you don't know how much of your time to use. Blitz, you just have to play fast. Classical, you have to take your time, but in rapid, it's kind of tricky, you know. The 2-second is also tricky because you can flag people. You can flag Nefidov, but you can't flag Adi, for example. So it depends on who you're playing against. But if your opponent's 2400 in bullet, you're probably not going to flag them. You know, you've got to beat them on the board. But Arsenal didn't do that totally. He didn't go just playing for time. He should have used more time, but it's easy to say, like, how exactly much time should he use, you know? I mean, it's not easy. Well, Arsenal fan, it's a very complicated endgame. Yes, you're probably winning, obviously, but the only takeaway I can come up with is that you should use a little bit more time. But I'm not going to criticize specific moves or something. I mean, you had a huge time advantage, and the only way to use it is to use it. All right. Pawnda, we didn't see that part where you had an easy win. I mean, you know, rook and rook with opposite-colored bishops with 2 pawns up can be very complicated. And oftentimes, it's not easy. But I think once you played h4 on the king side, you should be winning, for sure. That was, I thought, pretty decisive. Alright, so now I'm playing him. It's new, though, that he has a Hungarian flag. He might be from Hungary. Or maybe he just likes Hungarian flags. The flag of the week. Maybe he just likes playing for flags. Now, bishop takes f3 is a move, right? But not objectively the greatest winning attempt. Let's do it, though, for something different. I don't normally play this line. Boom! Massive donation. No, just kidding. Aravind has followed. We also had Hammerhead CZ earlier following. So, by the way, white has d4. It's an important variation there. By the way, what white did here is okay too. However, it's very different from the d4. Stylistically, because now, you know, it's not easy to get d4 in. Maybe you never get d4 in. Knight d6 mate. Years ago, I had a game like this in the tournament I played in Kansas. Are we in Kansas yet? Go for the mate in one. Come on. Do it. You know you want to go for the mate in one. G4. G4 is a sound positional move. I used to play the English defense all the time. Now this is my second English defense. My second English defense today. Bringing that back. But the more openings you can play, the better. I've been playing so long that I have, like, you know, openings I haven't played in a long time that I can bring back into the repertoire. Dude, what happened to my... There it is. English defense I like. I've been working on Queen's Indian, King's Indian hybrid, sort of. Double fianchetto. Or accelerated Queen's Indian. Master Saeed Slom. Where's our German players? Mr. Slow, 44. Is there some reason I shouldn't play knight f5? That was my plan. I see no reason. See no evil. I see no evil here. No need to do like, you know, fancy chess syndrome. So this is the plan now, is important. What do we do next with black here? Is it bishop e7? I like this. I love knight d5. Knight d5, but what does it do? It's a fancy move, but it doesn't do anything. Should I play g6? g6, g4, knight d4. Well, I mean, the point of g6 is play bishop g7, and then that's the next move, so let's do it. Will Fianchetto at least, you know, at least one bishop in this game? The d4 is the main point. In case you didn't get that, black has you didn't get the memo. Black has very good control on d4. I beat this guy, what was his name? Some old master. Relatively older. As usual, I can't remember any words or names. James Earl Jones. James Woods. Okay, now he seems to have a sort of plan. He's played knight e3 to try to trade off my knight on f5. I don't think we like that around here. So then I move my knight to d4. I'm certainly not going to fix his pawns, and I'm not going to let him damage my pawn structure with frickin' f5. So we just do this. Now and I remember how I beat James Ellis, that was it. James Ellis. He's like an older American NM. b3, bishop g7, bishop e2. Then we have to decide what to do. Do I go knight f3? I beat Ellis in this type of position where it was opposite bishops. In honor of Arsenal fan, maybe we'll get like 100 move ops colored bishops. That's what it was. It was my dark square bishop against Ellis's light square bishop in the Kansas Rotary Open 2023. By the way, like one of my worst tournaments ever. It was really bad. I was hemorrhaging rating points for moving to Hungary. All right, here we go. So I'm not going to fix your pawn structure. I'm sorry about stuttering, by the way. No matter how much you try, I'm not going to fix your pawn structure. Just, you need to know. Interesting. That was a kind of cool maneuver. He went knight c3 to d5 to e3 to g4 to e5. So he transferred his knight in this unbelievable way. Knight c3 to d5 to e3 to g4 to e5. That is kind of new one. All right. Guess I should consider taking with the rook there. That'd be kind of fun. His light square bishop is sort of important for protecting his king, you know. So if he trades that off for a knight, I mean, he's going to have issues with his king side. It's pretty subtle play by white. Still, I like black. I have d5. If I allow b4, it's no big deal. But what's the breakthrough? What's the plan? Not easy. Not easy to win this. James Ellis, Ops Color Bishops. Yeah, white playing this like a pro. Honestly. He basically has like no winning chances, but he's trying to navigate toward a draw. Here I have d5. I mean, it should be considered. I don't think it's that good for my pawn structure. So what do we do? Never had anyone like unable to concentrate because they were playing Uno in the chess tournament, but that's nice. That's the rule. Let go of my ego. The James Ellis Ops Color Bishop Endgame, if you like. I don't know if I wanted to avoid any potential tactics here. This guy really likes Ops Color Bishops, huh? You know, another break I have is g5, but it looks way too early for that. f5 is off. That only leaves me with the queen side. Or d5. Well, d5 makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, how about trading bishops? I totally forgot. You can just trade bishops. Emotions run high. Well, it's a good thing I have Arsenal fan here to help calm me down when I start getting emotional and remind me. All right, now we can start having some fun with the good old queen versus bishop. I mean, queen and knight versus queen and bishop. You know, believe it or not, maybe Adi needs to consider playing bishop c1 to avoid this exchange. Believe it or not. Believe it or believe it. I am the knight. This game was like 100% tactics. This is why Spielman is right. You know, all of you who know that very important and famous Rudolf Spielman quote, chess is 99% tactics. Mm-hmm. G5 doesn't really do much. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, a command like that would be too obvious. Mr. Coffee, we need a tournament team command. We need a team command. I can't believe it took us until now to realize that. Damn, that really sucks. I don't think I can take this pawn. My knight gets trapped. That's alright, though. Training queens was a bad idea. He tricked me. We still have very good winning chances. There's been too many pawn exchanges here. This is like torturous for white. But why don't I do like h6 and g5? Who needs like g5? We chip away. Trade toward the center. I wish he would take on c5. I would take back with the d pawn. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll take with the b pawn. Man, how could Arsenal fan get a four minute advantage on time? Is this good knight versus bishop okay? He dropped an exchange. Oh no. Oh no, you never know when it's going to strike. Maybe his position's better after losing the exchange. It's just torturous to defend this. A computer will draw every time. Pity to undouble his pawns like that, but what can I do? Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe my knight was stronger than a rook anyway, so it's a good exchange for him. It's a hell of a bishop. You have to admit. Oof. I mean, even Doge and Elon Musk don't have more efficiency than this. This is why I really respect Rudolf Spielman. So let's check analysis board for this game. The problem is this kind of game isn't the most fun, you know. But White had a lot of fun playing that game. We have a new Dr. Srinishvan. I'm just going to call you Doctor, because your name starts with a D. Computer analysis. Yeah. So good game by me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. One of those really dry winning the drawn position. Come on, come on, come on. Hurry up with the analysis. I made it inaccuracy at some point. What the heck? Come on, come on. Hurry up. Was that our last game? That couldn't have been the last game, right, guys? 15 CBL. 14. It's dropping. Chess is 99% tactics. See the tactic? Rudolf Spielmann was right. One tactic and knight e2 check followed by knight c3. I made some inaccuracies early. It's not going to like bishop takes f3. Computer's going to tell me that bishop takes f3 is a mistake, right? No. No. 2 mistakes early. It didn't like castles. Ooh. It didn't like castles and d6. Alright. So we have a perfect score. 1 ongoing game. Ongoing. What? Oh, wow. Sun Prism against Arturas. My god, dude. What just happened? Oof. Sun Prism getting hit by bishop d5. That hurts. Jeez, dude. That's just brutal. Poor Sun Prism. White's pieces are a little uncoordinated. This is not good. Jeez. Archer is a good player. I've had some tough games against him already. That's a good new quote. Bishop takes f3 is never a mistake. I like that. Oh, he could have taken the rook with check, but I guess that was even riskier. Sun Prism's never going to resign. You're going to have to grind him down here. Alright, next. So, hopefully we keep Archer at a distance. I'm going to play Gu or Crazy Bianca next game. Archer's still on 1.5 points. Now I have 2.5. Unless it's a miracle. Should we look for miracles? Now from the other side. Sun Prism isn't down that much material. He's down a pawn. He's down a queen for a rook. Queen for a minor piece. Well, the suspense is killing me. Ooh. Alright. That will do it. So next round in 3 minutes. I've got 4. Gu has 3. Crazy Bianca has 3. Adai has 2.5. Arturas now with 2.5. Just in time to be a spoiler. Sun Prism with 2. Arsenal Fan with 2. Arsenal Fan lost. An opening blunder. Bishop takes e5. Redusa with 2. Stefano with 2. Practicing always 1.5 out of 3. No, 2 out of 3. Sorry. Ruslan Bear 2. Euron is here. We haven't seen you in a while. 42 made it. Yes. Germany is represented. Master Saeed with 1 point. Real Vivid VMD. Looks like Vivid. Esperanto has 1. Nefedov lost 2 games. Oof. Oh, he got paired with Archer. That's rough. And Schumacher out early. Astrobate 0 for 4. Astrobate, I need to see a win from you. The Sword of Democracies. That's the guy that had the big sword, Democracies. Isn't that right? You're unable to join. Yeah, no, you can't join after halfway. Even if you're a member of the team, unfortunately. Not my rule, but it makes some sense because it's a Swiss, I guess. The brother of... Yeah, Brothers of Anarchy. The sort of democracy. Democracies. Did you see that in Los Angeles? The ICE and soldiers invaded like a park with like a bunch of children from like a daycare camp or something. Nice. Ah, the sort of democracies. Okay, guys, let's go. 4 is the current leading score, but I'm beatable. Just sort of hope on American politics. All politics. I don't want to watch the news anymore. I've pretty much reached my limit. Yeah. But I'm preparing to go back. I want to make sure I delete all my like Trump memes from my phone so they don't denaturalize me when I go back in September. I have to look up if you can denaturalize a native-born American citizen. All right, maybe if I live outside of the United States for long enough, they can denaturalize me. Crazy Blanca, and we're white. New law: if you haven't been outside of the country for... I'm already on the list. I know. Caro can't. What do you guys want to do here? Oh no. We played this the other day. Do you want to go into a normal pan-off? Give your thoughts on FOA and its titles. I don't know what we're talking about. FOA? Oh, FIDE Online Arena? Oh god, forget it, dude. Forget it, man. Forget it. Just another scam. FIDE is one big scam. I mean, they make all their money from scams. They should basically... They also make a lot of money, like, these trainer scams. Like, anybody can become a trainer. An official FIDE trainer. They don't have to know anything about, really, anything. They just have to pay. No, FIDE is all about trying to survive financially, and so they raise money however they can. But I think, like, the main thing with FIDE is they should get sponsorship to fund tournaments instead of charging tournament organizers tournament fees. But you know, the problem is, like, well, who's going to sponsor such a corrupt organization? You know what I mean? FIDE has no advertising power. It's not like FIFA or something. Alright. This is a good line for white, I believe. Have we been here before? Been here, done that? Is C5 too early? You just subscribed a month ago? Well, I never ever played on the FIDE Arena. I never would have. I mean, I know better. You know, I've been a member of a title player for 30 years, and I know how corrupt FIDE is. Maybe it's not that bad, you know. I don't know, but I wouldn't waste my time. Better to just pursue, like, over the board title. Even if it takes long. It's more meaningful. You know, here is a question. Can I play knight e2? Should I consider playing knight e2 instead of knight f3? Every time I've ever played this line, I got a good position. I played in an IM tournament a couple years ago, and one Indian guy didn't play against me, but one, like, I don't remember, 2150 player. Played the exact same line with black. I've had this in Blitz. It should be better for white. I'm surprised by the amount of people who allow this line. It's another kind of strategic line. Oh, wow. Knight takes e7. What's Crazy Blanca's reading? Oh, now Crazy Blanca's in Hungary. Uh-huh. You're not Hungarian. You're Turkey earlier. You're a Turkey. So knight takes. That's a great move. This player has scored 2.5 out of the last 3 against me, including like a brutal win, the last one. Was that 2 brutal wins in a row? I'm supposed to exchange on c6. I could have exchanged on c6 earlier. Castles, knight takes c3, bishop d3. So what's my plan here? But anyway, the bishop's going to have to move at some point. We might as well just move it now. If I take, I'll regret it. So what do I do? I need the castle. I need development. You know, e5 is weak. Looks like a Petrov. Back to c6. I can go back to b5. White should be better. See, I beat them when they were 1634. I beat them 3 times when they were 1634. Relatively low blitz rating, not a high bullet rating, but a very good chess 960 rating, 1836. That's solid. Weird ratings. I mean, I don't know. You know, I didn't personally play on the FIDE online arena, but I feel like a lot of people have bought into that, and it's kind of a scam. I'm surprised it's still going. I mean, honestly, they must have a fairly large player pool. I have noticed it's more popular with players like from India. With Western players, not as much. I don't know why. You know, maybe it's been promoted more by like Indian players. So I want to kick that knight off of e4. And if knight e5, what are you going to do? Knight e5, knight g6, knight g6, hg6, f3. but in any case, I have to do something. So what's up with A6? You want to go back to C6 or what? What's the point? There is no point. I have the option to take with the bishop on E4 too. Now, since Swiss, you're unable to join in the middle. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I just noticed the chat there. You can't join in the middle. Where's 42? Quiet today. Did I miss 42 saying hi? Maybe he's on the phone. No Mr. Slow. Well, I mean, I know that this is a dangerous opponent because I lost to them in the simul. But, I have a tremendous score with this line with white. I don't like A6, though. You're putting another pawn on white squares. Too many pawns on white squares. Makes Jack a dull boy. I have, like, almost 100% score with this line with white. I was looking at it the other day, you know, statistically, this sort of position. The engine doesn't think it's that bad for black, but this is kind of a cheapo now by my opponent, Queen C7. Threatening to play knight takes C5. Again, I don't really want to play well, let's hold on a second here. What about rook C1? Looks like a good idea. That'll knock out tactics on the C5. And then I can get on with life. He's ahead on time. Very strategic play today. There's a lot of good ways to play the black side of the Panov, but this is not it. You know, G6, any sort of line with G6. The Nimzo style approach hasn't worked as well for me. The E6, the best lines are with G6 or knight C6. But you played knight C6 with E6. You played knight C6 and you played E6. But the best move for black here is what people like Tony Miles used to play, which is not that well known to amateurs, but bishop E6. I played this with black. I had a game with Zakhar, this old guy, Zakhar Favinov. Bishop E6, I've also played Queen A5. Botvinnik has a couple games in his selected games with this position with white. But Bishop E6 people don't know. It looks like anti-positional. Bishop E6 is black's best move. So here now we have a pretty serious advantage. Take with the rook if you trade knights. Otherwise, the E file is strong. Yeah, so I used to play Queen A5 when I was black. Even Floor played D takes C4 in a game against Botvinnik, which he lost. Floor was quite a good Caro-Kann player, He ended up losing that game, but not necessarily because of the opening. I think even d takes e4 is not so bad. But bishop e6 is I think best. If you want to play e6, then play it, but don't play knight c6 and e6 combined. Now we have a very serious positional advantage. Positional. I lost to Buivin a rapid game with a similar structure. I think it was like I think it might have been that line, in fact. Some kind of Panov or... Now I just have a free... I have a free queenside majority. This is what happened to me in that Panov. Your e-pawn is backwards, so you're like lost on the queen side. There's nothing you can do. Will there be another Blitz Arena after this? No. At least not by me. This is long. I mean, it's like... We've been playing for... When was it? 7? We've been playing for 2 hours. So h6 shouldn't matter. Again, we want to try to win on the queen side, but we can also add pressure down the middle. h6 just keeps me off of g5. I think that's kind of a reasonable move. The thing is that white has all kinds of advantages in the center. Yeah, this is a normal move. I have advantage. Oh, you just hung e6. Is that a trick? Or you're just in a bad position? You just blunder. Yeah, it's a very difficult position for black. Knight d7. Oh, h6 goes. Not good. All right. Yeah, so just a quick look at the opening. After bishop g5, this is black's best move. There's tons of theory. The floors variation is also okay. And then the old queen a5 is playable as well. I had a really funny game. I lost against a Hungarian IM who played this against me. I didn't even know that was a lie. It freaked me out when he played that. My queen got trapped on a5. Really stupid. So e6 is playable. We can see this has been played by some good players. But I never liked it for black. As I said, it's playable. Yeah, I was wondering about knight e2. This has been played by some people too. So knight f3, knight e4, bishop e7. Knight e7 is correct. And now bishop d3 is dubious. Wow. It's Butenorius. And Klaus Berg lost. Oof. So bishop d3, serious mistake by me. I'm supposed to play rook c1 and take with the rook. That's instructive. Your main threat is to play b6 and break my queenside structure. It's a Nimzo theme. So I had to play here. And then you play b6 anyway. This is very sharp. This is very sharp. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay. Anyway, back to tournament. I'm 5-0. We've got some games going on. Arturas catching up to me. Practicing always. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Archer As with a huge time advantage, but it appears that black might be holding here. Practicing always. Practicing might be getting a draw, objectively. Still a lot of play left in that position. Arsenal against Ruslan. Ruslan, who specializes in playing highly accurate quality chess. And then that's it. Alright, let's look at this. So Archer As plays a4, a double-edged move to avoid exchanges. That's quite interesting. Wow. Bishop f6, attacking the pawn. White didn't want that. Bro, this looks a little concerning for black. He's in trouble on e6. Yeah. Looks like Artur is winning again. Though objectively he didn't have to be, and it's still not over. Ooh, it's almost mate. Black has b5 there. He had b5 there. Oof. Look at that king. King Kong. King Kong can join the fight. White is winning now. The two pieces are much stronger than rook and a pawn. Black was in too much time pressure and let it all kind of collapse. I think when we first started seeing this game, black had really legitimate drawing chances. But a good call by Artur As to play a4, not allow trades. Weird knight g5 move. Guess he was concerned about his knight. It's probably good enough, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's an easy tactical win now. I hope I don't have to play Artur As. What's my score? 11.5, 3.5. But it's been so long since I played him, I don't remember. Why didn't he take on c3 and check on e5 and take? That was weird. He like set up knight takes c3, bishop e5, check, take the pawn, and he didn't do it. It's like he's playing with his food or something. Stop playing with your food. It's so easy for white to win this. It's even surprising he's thinking at all. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. That move was overlooked by yours truly. Good defense by black, finding rook e7. Stay alive. Still staying alive. White's kind of systematically improving little by little. No, that's not improving. That's not improving. You're just repeating position there. White could lose in one move if he's not careful here. Slowly black is catching up on clock. El Clocko. Oh no. That's too easy. Alright, that's it. No way. Full piece up. No surviving this. No one comes back from this. Sorry, guys. Anyway, it's over. Now you can exchange bishops. Oof. Artur very patient. I think he's enjoying the position a little too much. Not making obvious progress yet. He had bishop f7 there and missed it. Still doesn't do it. Unbelievable. Threefold repetition. Oh my god, no way. No way. An accidental threefold repetition. Oh my god. That's so weird. He didn't play bishop f7. I mean, he had 2 chances to play bishop f7. And it wins easy, you know? The online threefold repetition is kind of lame. Yeah, I mean, obviously White was winning, but he was being hesitant about it. He was really like taking his time a little too much, I think. So blunder is a draw, and that keeps me ahead of him. Wow, terrible mistake, but who's counting for threefold repetition there? It wasn't in a row, you know. I mean, the same position had come up, but in a different order of moves. So you don't think you're going to get called on a threefold repetition. But he had been like hesitantly repeating position a lot of times before. I felt he was being a little bit too careful or too slow about it. So we got 2 rounds left. The tournament is 2 hours and 10 minutes in, with 2 rounds left. It's going to come out to almost 3 hours. Hopefully we have enough players to make the 7 rounds. It should be no problem. But people tend to drop out. So if you're going to drop out, please withdraw. If you're not going to play, press the withdraw button. Like, do not forfeit the games, please. Yeah, nobody knew it was a threefold repetition, except for the computer. I mean, the site. In the old days, I mean, in a standard over-the-board blitz, you'd never be able to, like, claim that repetition. No one would be able to even keep track. I mean, I think even if there's a DGT board, you have to, the rule is, like, you have to claim it, a threefold repetition. Maybe they would let it claim. I don't know what happens nowadays. In OBT, in OTB blitz with DGT boards, you had to drop out after playing a cheater. Well, no, you didn't have to. You chose to. Alright. Maybe you can claim with a threefold if the evidence is there, like the game's recorded on a DGT board. If you claim correctly, they probably give it to you. I don't know. So another English. I'm going to play G6. And you. Oh yeah, he must have faced Arsenal fan. Not in English, no. Symmetrical English. Because DGT boards can mess up. Dude, it's like the Wimbledon line judges. Did you see that? Wimbledon took out line judges, and then immediately the system got turned off, and it cost one of the women players to lose her match because, like, it messed up. It missed like 3 calls. They had to replay the points, and she lost. This is so messed up. It's such an embarrassment, man. I would, like, sue Wimbledon. She probably had to, like, freaking sign some disclaimer that she agreed to the rules or whatever. It's so sick. What a stupid thing, man. It's like 140-year tradition, or I don't know how many years, that Wimbledon Tennis Championship has been going on. They have to take away the line judges. Like, I don't really understand why. Alright. Knight d5. Preventing bishop h3. This move is new to me. I guess the point is I play rook c8. I don't know that I've faced knight d5 before. There was this guy, 5-year-old or whatever, some player with the Armenian flag. And then there was another guy, no, 10-year-old, not 5-year-old, 10-year-old. And 10-year-old used to play the English. He's a relation to 5-year-old. Queen b3. Damn, Good not known for his theoretical opening prep. But tactically, like, preventing me from doing bishop h3. I guess I can play b6, but you'll just continue with some kind of other bullshit. I guess there's h5. Doesn't feel right. I have to admit, I don't know what to do here. h6 is always an option if you don't know what to do. You could play, nah. I was going to say h3, that's insane. h3, take, queen takes b7. I don't like e4, but maybe it's not so bad. White has a big hole on the d4 square now after this move. I mean, this looks kind of dubious. You give up that. I didn't follow Wimbledon, but I miss following sports, though. I used to. Now I just follow politics instead. Definitely not as fun. Major League Baseball. The Red Sox are still in contention. I could go to a baseball game in September. You know, I'm going back to the States. And take Mr. Coffee to a baseball game. I'm going back to the States in September for 14 days. I don't know, the Red Sox are in contention. They've had a really shaky season, but what am I doing here? E6? The Phillies are probably a lot better, bro. I don't know, if you live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, are you like a Phillies fan or a Pittsburgh Pirates fan? What do you do? You root for the like Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs or something? I don't know. Only sport I follow is baseball, which almost no one in Europe cares about. I have one Hungarian friend who plays baseball, which is very strange. They actually have like an organized, not pro really, but like amateur baseball league in Hungary, which is hard to believe, but it's an actual thing. It's very, very strange. I'm surprised that exists, but it does. Once I saw guys playing cricket in the city park now, last year. Some Indian guys playing cricket, which was funny. I got to get this bishop out of here because it's gonna get trapped. This reminds me of the other game a little bit. So knight d4. How's our driving? I should play knight e7 first and wait. What's up, Masturbate? River Rescue. That's another kind of sport. They do that in Texas. But climate change denial is a real thing. It's Joe Biden's fault. Let's blame the climate change on Joe Biden. Yeah, I gotta stop with the politics. It just makes you crazy. Man, Goo with a really pro game today. He's 4-1. My score against him is ridiculous. 17.5, 1.5. He's playing like the other Hungarian guy. Maybe they're the same person. They both play the English. Isn't that weird? Addy and Goo, they have the exact same ratings and they both play the English. Coincidence? Ooh, I'm fading here. Well, I mean, with a name like that, we gotta trust you. If I get a direct command from someone named Toilet Paper Moonshine, I'm automatically gonna accept whatever they say as the truth. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a real, like, QAnon believer. Why not, like, chemtrails or something like that? I would have to, like, actually have the time to look at someone's games. You're telling me to, like, ban somebody in the middle of one of my own games? What am I going to do? Like, telepathically look at their games and decide if they're cheating or something? This is not the appropriate way to make a complaint about it here. But Goo is playing differently than I've seen in the past. Like a very steady, kind of solid game. Previously on our channel, he was I don't know. I would call him a little bit reckless, kind of wild. King h1. So white squares. What is he doing with that? Knight g8. Favorite maneuver of mine. Closed Sicilian. I love playing knight g8, knight g1 in the closed Sicilian. A lot of people automatically put the redundant knight on, c6. But I feel like that's actually kind of stupid, to be honest. Redundant knights are overrated. This knight is no longer redundant. It's its own knight now. Two bishops. White's playing like a pro. But it's an imbalanced position. He's got a beautiful light square bishop. Yeah, so we expected this. Knight h5. You gotta watch the light squares. Pro game by white. Is g4 a threat? Also want to watch b6. I mean the c5, the b6 sports c5. I could go for d5 too. No, is the two bishops definitely an advantage? Because this is kind of a closed position. Do you want to play g4? Are you sure? Apparently not. He's not sure about g4. We're with him on that. But b4, a very positional move. I have queen a4 maybe. He can't do everything. Oh, he covered it. Look out. Watch my king. I don't like my king there anymore. King on h7. Very steady positional game by white. Don't remember Gu being so steady. Okay, now a4 is dangerous. I need to lock that up. That means he can't break the queen side. Otherwise, a5 is a strong break. This is a lot like that previous game. Maybe I need to consider coming back. If you think about it, it's so similar to the English. In a weird way, it's kind of similar to the English with... If you put my knight on d4, it's the same game as I had earlier. Knight h5, king h2. What does rook a1 do? Feels like he might be kind of losing the thread there a little. Losing the thread. Better not play rook b3. Rook b3 is overrated. Oh no. Doubling on the A file. He's having trouble coming up with a plan. He doubled on the A file. Oh no. But I don't necessarily just want to, like, trade into ops color bishops. That's fine, but we might have better. Like the other game, bishop d4. Only if we beat him with knight on d4. Fork his rooks. And what did I say? If they take on f5, you take the opposite way. We get the pawn smile. Wow, okay. So queen takes b6, rook b8. That looks kind of dangerous. Bishop d4. It's the same game. The game remains the same. No way. How is your queen not trapped here? I win the exchange at least. That's crazy. It's the exact same game. Oh, he has a trap. He had a trap. Why is he thinking here? Is he, like, thinking about queen d2 or something? Seems like a weird time to think. What? Queen c3? Check? That is a weird move. What a move. He's got two pawns for the exchange. He's got the beef. He's got the beefs. Dangerous. He's got the beat. The go-go's. We got the beat. Oh no, he hung h3 with check. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oof. He still has chances. Still has chances. Yeah, no, not happening. This is not happening, man. We're not trading queens with an a-pawn coming down and a bishop on g2. Not today. Guys, we got one more round after this. One more rounders. Gonna need that b2. I'm gonna need to see your b2 pawn. How do I checkmate him? G5. He's definitely in trouble now. Try to sack the queen. Yeah. Queen E3, A7. Queen takes B2. This way I can go after his A pawn. He's not giving up. Getting low on time. All right. Yeah, that was a good game by White. You were doing fine. Doing fine the whole way until, yeah, when you started doing the crazy stuff with the rooks. I don't know about A4, you know. Is A4 a good move? Probably not. White is not worse for sure here. What's up with 95 in opening? Is that a known line? Have I faced that before? Okay, this is a known line. I don't know if I've ever faced it. Once. Rob Bren. I don't remember who that was. Probably a strong player. So I'm 6-0 last round. Goo is 4. Arsenal fan with the comeback. And Archer left, unfortunately. After that draw. Oh no, not Arsenal fan. No. I already played Adi, so I have to play Arsenal fan. Goo is on 4. Arsenal with 3.5. Adi with 3.5. Sun Prism is out. Practicing always 3. Archer out. Crazy Bianca out. UPSC with 3. And Stefano with 3. And then it drops down. Asterbait. Nefidov. Nobody's still here. Where's our page 2? Asterbait, you got it. No, it doesn't count. A bye doesn't count, Asterbait. You need to win the last round. 42's out. Jeroen's still here. Ruslan Bear's still here. You got to take out Ruslan Bear in the last round, Arsenal fan, if you haven't played him already. Let's see. Asterbait. Adi lost. Ruslan Bear, you already played him. Oh no. Who are you going to play? Maybe Jeroen? Can you beat Jeroen? You already played Jeroen. You already got a bye. You already played Jeroen. You're going to have to play 42. He's out. Maybe some of the outs will come back. Maybe one of the players who's out will come back. Or you can beat Stefano. You lost to Stefano. It looks like you're in trouble, man. Well, I got to play someone, Arsenal fan, and it should be you. I could play Sun Prism. Wait, did I play him in the first round? Oh, no. I didn't play Sun Prism. Oh, I did on the third round. Okay. No, I have to play you, Arsenal fan. And the computer can't... It can't make another pairing. I mean, I have to play you, and Sun Prism will play someone else. Sun Prism will play Adi. Definitely. Me versus Arsenal fan. But I've got the tournament. Me versus Arsenal fan, at Iceland Prism, practicing always versus somebody. Yeah. But you're white. Alright. We got the tournament. We got the meets. I played Arsenal fan 530. This is our game 532. Who has the record now? I don't even know. I think you might be getting the record. Caro Khan for Arsenal fan. So what's up? You don't normally play that. You don't really play advanced. So this is something new. Okay. 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 Everybody, please. Bishop G4. What am I thinking here? Why am I thinking about playing E6? That's like people play that in the that's the fantasy variation. It's cool. All right. If you're curious. So I never remember theory here too well because I'm not really playing the Caro-Kann too much. Just kind of play on feel. And here's another case of white having the bishop pair. I've been a critic of the Caro-Kann lately, but I still like to play it from time to time. You know, I can't help but feel it's definitely a bit passive. I do think the advance is critical, but the 4 knights or 3 knights is quite popular and good as well. You know, white should be a little bit better. This particular move is definitely book. I just don't know it. Not a common line. After pawn takes pawn, you can sack the pawn on d4. I know there's like bishop b4, queen g3 or something. Knight f6, e5, knight f d7. I don't want to get too passive here. I don't remember what I'm supposed to play. d4 is like not a very common line. Taking the pawn can be dangerous. Though he might take with the queen. I think I'd rather keep my strong point. I'm trying to remember what happens on bishop b4. Bishop b4, queen g3, knight f6. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I can't remember what you're supposed to play. I guess taking is an option. But if they try to gambit the pawn... I remember Charlie, my friend, having a game against Alexander Ivanov once, where Ivanov did this. What did Charlie do? He took, and he didn't take the pawn or something. Like, pawn takes e4, knight takes e4, and then what? How do you not take the pawn there? What are you going to play? Like, knight f6 or something? How do you decline that pawn sack? He didn't even think about it. Queen takes e4 is definitely a move as well. So what did Charlie do? He didn't take the pawn. Knight f6 is a reasonable move. I mean, I challenge his knight on e4, but this is kind of passive. If I take with the queen, do you have queen b3? And then I have to weaken my structure? But your queen's in a weird place. Of course, you don't have to. You could just do that, you know. So white's a little better. White's a little better. And if I play f5, you can break with g4. If I don't play f5, probably a sensible thing to do. Don't play f5. Develop. Keep my options open. Yeah, I gave Arsenal fan a nice safe position. Fluffy. Fluffy's 500th follower. Larry Epstein, National Master. I think he's still alive. I played this guy in a lot of quads. New Jersey. Late 80s. New Jersey Master. 2200. Yeah, that's an appropriate question. Arsenal is like, seriously, they're going to ask me Epstein questions. Who is that? It's Bob. Bob is back just in time. Bob is great. We haven't seen Bob in a long time. But Bob wouldn't be Fluffy's 500th follower. This has to be... that's weird name. The odds, the 8-ball says that Epstein got offed. You know. But that's such a ready-made conspiracy theory. I'd say it's 60-40 he got murdered. But, you know, killing himself is a possibility. Because who wants to spend the rest of their life in prison, you know? So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know. I don't think there's, like, any easy way to say. I think he had a reason to kill himself. But at the same time, it's more likely he got offed. What do you think about Russian generals and transportation ministers? Did the Russian transportation minister jump out of the 17th floor on his own? Even though he lives on the 10th floor? He committed suicide from the 17th floor. He wanted to make sure that he hit the ground hard enough to die. The 10th floor you might live, that's the problem. And plus it's more fun, you know. If you're going to jump from a high place, I mean, at least go to the 17th floor. Who offs himself from the 10th floor? There's like a 0.3% chance you could live. Well, not really, but it sounds good. Oh no, F4. That's almost as controversial as our latest conspiracy theory. F4. Wow. Just begging for H5. Holy mother of mayhem. F5 insta move. Also highly controversial. Highly likely he arsed himself. Whatever. You know, maybe I'll take that tripled pawn. What the hell is going on around here? Boy, what an uninspired move. Knight d5. Careful with those triple pawns. My stomach, after 7 rounds, is hungry. H4. Wait, rook g8. Rook g8. Let's do rook g8 first. I have to say, Arsenal, you play too fast. You do. And you still manage to play well, but you just blast out the moves, even in correspondence. The other day, in a 7-day correspondence move, Arsenal fan plays his move in 6 seconds. In 7 days correspondence. He's like 2 possible recaptures. I made my move. 2 perfectly playable recaptures. He instantly played his move in 6 seconds. Optimal correspondence play with Arsenal fan. You should do like blogs about optimal time management and correspondence. Now my rook is not a happy camper. Which rook, you might ask? Is it not obvious? Okay, what do I do? Rook g5 is kind of cool. I like rook g5. If you use 10 seconds or less in your 7 days correspondence games, chances are you're not optimally using your time. I get it, like you made up your mind, you know, what you're going to play. But even so, I still think you should reconsider using more than 10 seconds in 7 days correspondence games. Maybe set like a minimum of 30 seconds or 1 minute or something like that, just in case you miss something. But it wasn't a pre-move. I made my move, there was no response, and then 7 seconds later came Arsenal's move. To each his own. Okay, what am I threatening? Not a hell of a lot. Eventually he's going to get time pressure and start forcing me to like move faster, and that's when I start making mistakes. But so does he. That'll be our last comment of the day. Did Epstein kill himself? Guys, can we get a classic kind of fall out of your chair? Bishop takes d5, we call it the fall out of the chair variation. Because it's so surprising whenever it happens that they do that. At like multiple occasions, I almost literally fell out of my chair. The worst was a couple years ago in a closed tournament. A couple of closed tournaments it happened to me, where opponents did this bishop takes d5 move. Like, I'm like, you're kidding me. You're trading for bishop for knight on d5. This case wasn't so bad, but I still don't think it would be the best move. In other cases, it was like really surprising. They just like, I didn't even consider the move. I said, I'm not going to fix your pawn structure. If It's tight. It's right. Oh. Uh-oh. Now that move. Is that a problem? Why can't I play h4? h4 rook e2 takes. h4 take. h4 is okay. Better be okay. I have... Super surprising. Super. It's a super. There's going to be a sharp end game. You know, if you try anything tricky here. You better not try anything tricky. He's trying something tricky. Yeah. I'm losing a pawn. Down to 48 seconds. Fluffy 5,000. That can't be the last chat in my stream. Wow, account created January 5th, 2017. Wow. That's almost as long as I've been on lichess. Oh no, what could possibly go wrong? What are you doing? That? Whoa. Material is even. Someone's got to speak after that. Astrobeat, where are you? Everybody's playing. Okay. Arsenal, you better win that. I mean, Astrobeat, you better win that last game. Arsenal beat. Oh. Gotta watch the time. I screwed this up. God bless you. God bless you, Arsenal fan, for your flagging. I lost on time. That's a good game, dude. Nice. Nice. Flagmaster. Good game. Definitely. That's the word I would use to describe it. Dude, he's such a flagger. My God. Wow. Flagmaster. Rook A8. Totally winning. I knew I wanted to play F3 and then I hesitated because I thought he could queen. No, I mean, naturally I hesitated. F3, A8, H8, queen. And I was terrified. I totally forgot I had E2 check. That's why I, freaked out. I thought I had to play Rook A1 check, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. He's out. E2 wins. I cut it a little too close there, though. It shouldn't have been close. I mean, this is stupid. There has to be a better way to do this. No? F3 is stronger, but I don't know why. Why is F3 stronger? Oh, F3, F2 is so strong. F3 is much stronger than E3. What a pity. Oh my God. Thank God it didn't ruin the tournament. You just ruined my score. So Arsenal fan gets third place with a rather undeserved victory in the last round. Still, tough game. Time is a factor. I didn't see E2 check, and I freaked out. All right, you got me down on time. Goo with second place with the win against Practicing Always. Arsenal fan third place. Stefano with 4. For fourth place, Ada with 5, 3.5. Sunkrism with 3, taking a round off there. Practicing Always 3. UPSC 3. Euro in 3. Crazy Bianca left early with 3. Astrobate got the win. Oh no, a forfeit win. But you played one move. It counts. It counts. All right, Asper, you got the win. Sung Prism finishing with a forfeit in the last round. Did I tell you guys to withdraw or not? He didn't withdraw. Yeah. Yeah, Arsenal fan. That was funny, though. No games. No, that's my game. Sorry. So this is an actual line. Yeah, I don't think this is great for black, though. Not my best line. DTC4 is the second most common move. I just didn't want to give you that e5 space advantage. Now, the most common move is queen e4, but Arsenal instantly took with the knight. Of course, that's why I made the joke. And now I didn't take the pawn. Yeah, so this is kind of dubious. Knight f6, queen f6, queen f6. So queen b3 is better, as I expected. But how would you get a big edge on time and flag me if you actually took the time to think about your moves, right? That's totally, it's counterintuitive. Pashti Aron against Haldorsen Bragi from 2023. So this does look like it's better. I thought I could play b6, but this went White's way. He's a much stronger player than his opponent, who was 2000 in that game. So the line looks very good for White, actually. The other guy played queen e7, which is ugly, but avoids having to weaken myself with and you're threatening queen b4 check here, although that's not great either. Zakarian David played this. But anyway, it's not a very good line. I just sort of made it up at the board. E6, d4. Looks like we should play something else here. Let's see what the engine says. I was curious about bishop b4, but I knew this was a line. I thought this was a line. Yeah, this is a problem. This winnower like thing is a problem. Damn, I don't understand this. This is weird. There's only 2 games with queen g3. And I knew that was the best move for White, too. Nefidov would play that instantly. Yeah, so seen people do weird stuff like g6. Eupishin. Anyway. Alright, guys. Anyway, interesting stuff. Thanks, Arsenal fan. Gotta play faster. I know no theory at all. And I was playing blindfolded while I was playing that game. And, you know, little scorpions are like nibbling on my toes at the same time. I literally know no theory about anything. I don't even know how to play chess. And you just barely beat me, you know. Anyway, I hope I made you happy. Alright, guys. We'll see you later. Have a great week, and we'll see you for the Thursday analysis stream. Sunday Simul is now on Saturday this week, just so you guys remember. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Nice flagging. Good job.